Andy, you hear that whistle?
Sure do, Amos. That whistle means Rinso white, Rinso bright, Rinso new.
Yeah, that's right, and it means that this is Sunday and we is on the air for 1950 Rinso with Solium.
The Amos and Andy Show with Lou Lubin, Johnny Lee, Harry Lang, Jeff Alexander and his orchestra, and radio's all-time favorites, Amos and Andy, brought to you by Lever Brothers Company, makers of new 1950 Rinso with Solium, the soap that gets your clothes whiter and brighter than new.
Rinso white, Rinso bright,
Rinso new.
happy little wash day song.
Last week at the Lodge Hall, Andy Brown met a very charming girl and immediately fell in love at first sight. He's been after her all week for a date, and tonight she finally consented, providing he'd take her to a movie. At the moment, we find Andy and his new crush, Charmine Larue, enjoying the picture.
Well, this is the end of the movie. Great picture, wasn't it, Charmaine?
Oh, I sure did enjoy it. But you know, Mr. Brown, I'm getting a little uncomfortable here.
Yeah, me too. You'd think these television stores would at least put some heaters out here in the street.
Well, I guess we better be going now.
Yeah, well, if you'll allow me, Charmaine, I'd be glad to carry the camp chairs.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I guess we better be getting on home, Mr. Brown.
Yeah, we can cut right across town and go through the park.
The park?
Mhm.
But that's out of our way, and there's nothing to do in the park at this hour of the night.
Ha, ha. Silly girl.
And besides, it would be so dark in the park, and there's nobody there.
Yeah. Well, let's walk on down the street then to the bus stop.
All right. Oh, look. Look here in this jewelry store window. Ain't those earrings beautiful? And look at those wedding rings. There's dozens of them.
Yeah.
Speaking of wedding rings, Mr. Brown, have you ever thought of buying one of those?
Well, up to now I ain't. Guess I was what you call a confined bachelor. I suppose, though, that someday I'll take a big sniff and get fixated with the orange blossom.
Well, if you ever get married, has you got any idea who it would be?
Yeah, I always figured it'd be a woman.
Oh, Mr. Brown.
Tell me this, is you ever thunk about what kind of a husband I'd make?
Well, strangely enough, Mr. Brown, I have been thinking about you, and as a husband. But there is just one little thing that bothers me.
What is that, Charmaine, my love?
Your age.
My age? If you wasn't paying my bus fare, I'd let you go home alone.
Well, come in, Henry. How's the Van Porter family?
Well, it's charming to see you, Kingfish. Charming. Say, you know, I just ran into Andy on the street, and he tells me that he is serious about this gal, Charmaine Larue. In fact, I think there might be a marriage in the offing.
Holy smokes, Andy gonna get married? Henry, I never thought that boy would end up behind the Iron Curtain.
Yes, well, the only trouble is the girls say that she was a little worried about his age.
Yeah, well, what's he so upset about? After all, he ain't no Huckleberry Flynn. I know that.
Yes, that's true. And he feels himself that for a dashing Romeo, he's a trifle porculent.
Yeah. Well, I guess I know how you feel, all right.
Yes, he's even thinking about going to a gymnasium to slim himself down. He feels that by reducing, he would look younger, and he's so crazy about this gal, he don't care what it costs.
Gymnasium, don't care what it costs.
Yes.
Yeah, I just happened to think, Henry, you know Andy's got quite a roll around his stomach at that.
Yes, and he's carrying a roll in his pocket, too.
Yeah, maybe if I played my cards right, I might be able to remove both rolls in one operation. Well, there we is. That sign looked pretty good there, tacked up on the door. George Stevens Gymnasium. Well, I got that up just in time. Here come Andy down the hall now. Do. Come in, Brother Andy, come in.
Hi, Kingfish. Hi. How is is you done opened up a flower shop here?
Flower shop?
Yeah, say on the sign there, George Stevens, geraniums.
No, Andy, that word is geraniums. That is gymnasium.
Yeah.
That is Gimnasum.
Wait a minute. If that word is gymnasium, it don't look right to me. Didn't you leave a vowel or a consomme or something out of there? I always thought there was a Y jammed in there someplace.
No, Andy, you were thinking about the phonetic spelling of the word.
Oh, yeah. I knew a thunk of that, yeah. But you know something? Tell you the truth, Kingfish, this is a coincidence. Because I happen to be looking for a gymnasium myself to make me look younger.
You don't mean to tell me.
Yeah, sure. Last night, Charmine Larue said to me that the only thing that bothered her was my age. And I thought I would reduce my stomach and get rid of some of this Avidu poison.
Well, Andy, that's what I specializes in.
Yeah? Well, tell me this, how much you charge for this course?
Well, I give you the rock bottom price, Andy, $50. That's the standard fee fixed by the National Blubber Association.
Okay, it's a deal, Kingfish. When do I start?
Well, let me look in my appointment book here and see what I see my next fat pig ain't due for an hour yet. Yeah, I can take you right now, Andy.
Yeah, well, if you can get me in ahead of that other pig, let's get going.
Hey, take your shirt off, Dan, and let's see what we got to work with here.
Yeah, let me get my coat off here first.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
There. Now the shirt.
Yeah, take your shirt off. I want to see your physique.
Yeah. There he is, there.
Yeah, that shirt certainly peel off nice with that slit down the back, don't it? Just stand there, Andy, and let me get a side profile of your stomach there. Mm-hmm. Got quite a pouch there, ain't you, boy?
Yeah, but I can get rid of that pouch down there by just sucking it in. Watch this.
Uh-huh.
See, Kingfish? Now I ain't got no stomach.
Brother Andy, if that ain't a stomach, you got a drooping goiter. You know?
What is the next thing you want me to do, Kingfish?
Well, take off your pants there, Andy. I want to size up your leg muscles there. Take off your pants.
Yeah, all right, okay. I'll take these off.
Yeah.
There you is.
Yeah, see, you got on 2 suits of long underwear there, huh?
Yeah, I always double up after Labor Day. But you know something? I'm going to take one of these off.
You going to take one of them off? What's the trouble?
Well, every time I get up, it seems like somebody's following me.
Yeah, I see what you mean, Andy.
Well, now, Kingfish, that you done looked me over, you think you can get me young-looking in a hurry?
Yeah, well, I don't know about that, Andy. We don't usually get nobody with that much of a head start on human nature as you got, you see.
Well, now, what must I do to lose this weight?
Well, I'm going to give you a course of exercises. I'll tell you what you do. Now, while you're standing there in your underwear, bend over and touch your feet.
All right, here I go.
Don't bend your knees now. Bend right over straight. As big as them feet of yours is, you ought to be able to touch them somewhere there.
Kingfish.
Oh, what's the matter?
Push me back up quick. I got a pain in my goiter.
All right, now, Andy, wait a minute. There you is. All right, now put on your pants there and be here tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock for a good workout.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose you'd like to have me pay you the $50 for the course in advance.
That's all took care of, Andy. I got the money out of your pants pocket while you was bending over. Don't worry.
Happy little wash day song for a wash that's whiter and brighter than new. Rinso washes, Rinso new. Rinso white,
Whiter than new,
Rinso bright.
brighter than new,
Rinso white, Rinso bright.
Rinso new.
Rinso new. It's an amazing fact. 1950 Rinso with Solium gets white clothes whiter, washable colors brighter than new. Rinso new. Even on rainy days, Rinso puts sunshine in your wash. No other soap can make your wash so white, so bright, because no other soap contains the scientific sunlight ingredient, Solium. 1950 Rinso gets out more dirt. Yes, gets out more dirt than any other type of wash day product. Yet, Rinso is so safe for clothes, so kind to your hands. Get Rinso today. See your wash become whiter, brighter than new.
Rinso white, Rinso bright.
Rinso new.
Happy little wash day song.
hello there, Amos. Glad to see you.
Well, hi there, Andy. Where you been? Is you beaming there and laughing? What's the matter?
Oh, yeah, I was a happy boy. I've been working with the Kingfish for a week.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute here. Let me stand up here straight and show you something. Look at me. What you think?
Well, putting on a little weight, ain't you? Yeah, you ought to take some exercises, Andy. You know that?
Exercise. That's what I've been doing every morning.
You been doing any road work?
Road work? This morning for 2 hours. I almost fell out of bed.
No, Andy, not bed. You ought to try parallel bars.
Yeah, well, I can't sleep on them things neither.
No. Look at your coat there, Andy. Now just look at that.
Yeah.
The way it's stretched across the front there. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah, well, I'm going to do something about that right now. I'm going down to the tailor and have him move that button, you know?
Why is you doing all this exercise stuff, Andy?
Oh, it's for love, Amos. I has done met the only girl in the world for me, Charmine Larue. I love her with every ounce of blubber in my body.
Well, I hope it all works out all right.
Oh, yeah. I was working with the Kingfish. I paid him $50 to work on me, and he gave me a written guarantee that I'm going to be the most attractive fat pig in town.
Well, come in, Andy.
Yeah, hi, Kingfish.
Say, by the way, you better get yourself some suspenders there. Your pants about to fall off you there, Andy.
Yeah, well, I'm glad they look that way, 'cause they feel tight round the waist, I'll tell you that. You know, Amos told me that I ain't lost no weight.
Yeah, well, you see, Andy, what we has done is change the type of weight that you has got.
Oh.
You see, before you started with me, what you had on your body was plain loose flab. Now what you got is solid flab. You see what I mean?
Yeah, well, I hope my gal realizes that. You know, I was pretty lucky to have a girl like her.
Yeah, she's a sweet little thing, all right, Andy.
Yeah, I like her 'cause she's good looking, she's young.
Yeah, now, you speaking of young girl, now, you done put your finger on something right there, son.
Yeah.
Believe me, Andy, you was lucky getting yourself a young girl like that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, a young girl will keep you younger. You know that?
Yeah, especially.
Yeah, a young girl is the most wonderful. Sit down there, Andy. I'll answer this. I'll be through in just a second.
Go ahead.
Mr. Nicer to see George Stevens speaking.
Hello, Mr. Stevens. I'm Charmaine Larue. I just want to talk to you confidentially a minute.
Oh, yeah. What can I do for you?
Well, I think Mr. Brown misunderstood something I said last week.
Misunderstood?
Yes. You see, I told him I had been thinking of him and as a husband.
Yeah.
Well, I think that Mr. Brown thought that I meant a husband for me. I meant that Mr. Brown would make a good husband for my mother.
Yeah. I don't think that'll work.
Well, it was just a thought. You see, Mother doesn't have to get married. After all, she's got a very large income of her own.
Yeah, well, now that puts a curve on it that maybe I can hit, you see.
Well, the only reason I mentioned age was because I thought Mother would want a man that was worldly and experienced.
Yeah, well, let me see if I can't help you out with it.
Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Stevens. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Who was that, Kingfish?
Wrong number.
Well, now, what was you saying before the phone rung about how wonderful it is for me to marry a young girl? What was that?
Well, then, when I say that a young girl is good for you, I might be wrong. In fact, I was wrong most of the time, you see. If I was you, I wouldn't believe nothing I say. I'm going to tell you the truth.
Wait a minute. You said, though, that a young girl is good. Now,
Yeah, well, there's two sides to every story, and the other side is usual better. Now, let's look on the bright side of an older woman.
What you mean?
Well, for instance, when the average fella marries a young gal, he has the disappointment of watching her wrinkle up through the years and turn into an old hag.
Yeah.
But marrying an older woman, you gets it all over with in the first look, you see.
Yeah, well, you might got something there, all right. Let's get back to me marrying this young girl now.
Brother Andy, put both feet on the floor there and get a good grip on the arm of the chair there, will you? I'm going to tell you a little change in plans, yeah.
Yeah, well, I was holding on. What's happened?
And the plans is, instead of you marrying the daughter, you was going to marry the mama.
You know, Kingfish, there must be something wrong with the acoustics in this office here. I could have swore that you said something about me marrying her mama.
Well, that's exactly what I said, Andy.
Well, now, wait a minute here. I has been courting the daughter, not the mama. There ain't nobody gonna hand me no nasty detour like that.
Well, you see, Andy, when Charmine mentioned something about your age, she meant that she wanted you older so that you could marry her mama.
Now, wait a minute. The deal is off.
Well, she got her own personal income.
I still say that the deal... When can I meet this beautiful creature?
Look here now, Andy. It's going to take a lot of work to make you what this woman wants. Yeah. And I'll do it under one condition, that we divide her money in half. 75% to me, and you get the other half.
That's the deal. Now, what she want me to do is I got to put the soft flap back on me again?
No, Andy. She wants a worldly man. We got to figure out something that will make you worldly. You see, Shorty the barber, what you doing here at the Lodge Hall, Shorty?
Well, Kingfish, I had to see you. Something just come up. It's a matter of life and death. The most important, just stop there.
Say, Shorty, maybe you can help us, you know it? We got to try to figure out some way for me to make a hit with a wealthy old lady that's got a lot of money.
Well, why don't you do what I done? Go to a charm school.
A charm school? You went to a charm school, Shorty?
Oh, yeah. Well, my parents put me in one when I was 18 years old. Oh, that school really worked on me. They had me up there every day. And after 2 years of hard work, they sent me back to my folks just as I am today and said, here is a perfect specimen of manhood.
Oh, they did, huh?
Boy, did my parents have a lawsuit.
But listen, Shorty, how can I make this rich widow think that I is worldly?
Well, the only worldly man that I ever seen was a fella that's been a world traveler.
Say, Andy, we got something there. You could be a world traveler. Yeah, I could go over to the widow's house with you, and we'll convince her that you is a man that's been everywhere and know everything.
Yeah, say, that's a great idea you give us, Shorty.
Oh, you know something, fellas? Calling a gal, it's a tricky thing. I'm going with the gal right now. That started off with me going up to her house and playing ping pong. I love to play ping pong.
Oh, you do, huh?
Yeah, and then one night I happened to bring a box of candy. She threw her arms around me and kissed me. Every night for the past month, I've been bringing her a box of candy, and she's been hugging and kissing me, hugging and kissing me. but I'm afraid I'm going to have to stop bringing her candy.
What for, Shorty?
Well, she's getting. You see, how can you? No time for ping pong.
It's a proven fact. New 1950 Rinso with Solium gets white clothes whiter than new and washable colors brighter than new. Rinso New. No other soap can get your wash so white, so bright, because no other soap contains the scientific sunlight ingredient Solium. Even on rainy days, even if you dry your clothes indoors, Rinso with Solium puts sunshine in your wash. Your white clothes will actually turn out whiter than new, and gay washable colors brighter than the day you bought them. Rinso gets out more dirt than any other type of wash day product. Yet, Rinso is so safe for clothes and so kind to your hands. On wash day, use new 1950 Rinso with Solium, the scientific sunlight ingredient. Your dealer has it in the same familiar package. Get Rinso today.
Well, Andy, here's Mrs. Larue's house up here now.
Yeah.
Might have already called on the telephone and give you a big build-up, you see.
Yeah, well, don't worry. I'll really sweep her off her feet. Come on, let's get... Uh-oh, here comes that giggling goof, Happy Willie.
Yeah, well, hello there, Willie. See you again sometime.
Yeah.
Well, hello, boys. If it ain't Jugheads Incorporated.
Well, now, wait a minute. Don't bother us now, Willie. Andy going in the house here to propose marriage to some woman.
Oh, going to get married, huh? Well, boys, today is my 12th wedding anniversary, and the happiest one I ever had.
Yeah, well, tell me, why do this particular one today make you so happy?
My wife left me last June. So long, boys. So long.
No, me. What a boy he is.
There goes a laughing hyena with two legs. Come on, Andy, let's get on in Mrs. Larue's house here. And don't forget, you is a world traveler and done been all over.
Yeah, wait a minute. Let me stick this whisk broom in my hat band here. That'll make her think I just got back from Switzerland.
Yeah. And maybe during the conversation, you could kind of yodel at the old lady a couple of times, too.
Yeah, go ahead. Ring the bell, King.
All right, here I go. Now, Andy, when we go in the house there, if you see anything unusual or anything that looks funny, don't laugh out loud. Cover your mouth with a handkerchief.
Okay, I'll do that.
How do you do?
Oh, how do you do? I'm Mrs. LaRue.
Kingfish, can you lend me a handkerchief?
Mrs. LaRue, I'd like to have you meet World Traveler Brown here. Like I told you, he's been all around the world 4 or 5 times, visited every country on the globe.
Well, how do you do, Mr. Brown?
How you do?
Yeah, you better sit down there, Miss Brown. Rest your sea legs there.
Mr. Brown, you say you've been around the world 4 times. How exciting. What countries were you in?
Well, first I went over to the continent and stayed in England.
Oh, England, beautiful England. Did you visit the House of Parliament?
No, I stayed with some friends of my mama's.
How did you like England, Miss LaRue?
Oh, it was wonderful. I used to watch them change the guards almost every day.
Change the guards? What was you in for?
Oh, Mr. Stevens, this man is simply adorable.
Oh, yeah, he's a great boy and smart as a whip, too. You can tell that.
Where else did you go, Miss LaRue?
Oh, I had a wonderful trip. It was divine. I went to Luxembourg.
I spent a week there.
I was in Switzerland.
I spent a week there.
Oh, I was in ecstasy.
I spent 2 weeks there.
Well, I guess that you two lovebirds would like an old man like me to get out of the way here. So I'll leave you and World Traveler Brown on the sofa there. Miss LaRue, you don't have to bother about waddling to the door with me. I'll let myself go.
Oh, how nice. Yes, I'll sit here with Mr. Brown and I'll smile at him and look my very prettiest.
Kingfish, before you go, leave me your handkerchief, will you?
Well, Andy, everything went okay last night over at the widow's house, but we got to be careful, you know.
Why, what you mean?
Well, I think that Charmine's mama got a little suspicious that we was after her money.
Oh, yeah. She did act a little peculiar when I told her eyes was as pretty as her bank book.
And then we got to find some way to convince her.
Yeah.
Well, if it ain't 5% Calhoun, a big political friend, come on in here.
Hi, boys. I ain't seen you in a long time.
Tell me this, 5%. What you doing in the neighborhood anyway?
Well, I tell you, boys, see, next month is election, and I've been going around handshaking, back slapping, baby kissing, and dog patting.
Yeah, well, I guess a politician like you got to do a lot of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but this morning I kind of overdone myself on it. You see, I patted the baby and kissed the dog.
Oh, that was bad, kissing the dog.
Oh, I get credit for it. See, I kiss everything in my district.
Yeah, well, listen, 5%. We got a little problem here. Do you think you could help us?
Well, certainly I can help you. All you got to do is tell me what your situation is that you is stitched up in.
Well, Annie here is engaged to a wealthy widow, and the thing that bothers us is that, well, she was suspicious that Andy had her money.
Well, now, in that case, the thing to do is to prove to her that you ain't what you is.
Well, what you mean by that? What?
Well, make out like you're going to take on an expensive honeymoon.
Hey, Andy, the boy might have a thought there that we can work on.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Before I go, Andy, say this here widow you was engaged to, what she look like?
Well, she gave me her picture last night. Wait a minute, it's here in my pocket someplace.
Yeah, well, now, let me see. Before I go, let me leave you some good bit of advice.
Yeah.
When you marry a gal, you got to have a true heart,
Yeah?
a firm hand,
Here's her picture.
and a strong strong stomach. So long, boys.
Say, 5% had a good idea there, Andy.
Huh?
I tell you what we'll do. We'll go out and we'll buy 2 tickets for a Caribbean cruise to Cuba.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Then you know what? I'll take the tickets over to her, pre-pose, and put the tickets right in her hand.
Yeah.
The only thing is, though, Kingfish, 2 tickets like that must cost at least $400. I ain't got that kind of money.
Well, now, wait a minute. $400. Listen, now, wait a minute. We got to do something.
Yeah.
Listen, I tell you what to do, Andy.
What?
I'll raise half of that money because we'll get a lot more back after you was done married to her.
Yeah, that's right. we
And
will.
remember one thing, Andy. When we hooks up this rich widow, you got to use the old Army principle of charge and withdraw.
Charge and withdraw?
Yeah, right after the marriage, we start charging at the store and withdrawing at the bank. Now, that's...
And so, Mrs. Larue, it's on bended knee and with a heart full of love and affection that I ask you to be my wife.
Oh, Mr. Brown. This is so romantic.
We will go together through this life. We will travel together to the far corners of the earth.
Oh, Andy, this is really wonderful, but...
Fair one, be mine. We will cruise on our honeymoon to beautiful Cuba and the Caribbean.
Oh, Andy, how could I believe such a wonderful thing could be true?
Fair one, I come to thee with proof. Open your hand. Here, my dear, is 2 steamship tickets for our honeymoon cruise to Cuba.
Andy, I love you. How happy we'll be. Honey, this is the most romantic cruise I've ever been on in my life. The setting is just perfect. The sea, the moon, the stars. I just hope he's doing the right thing. Don't worry, Mother. Now that we got the cruise tickets out of that bum Andy, we both can find rich husbands.
Well, Andy, this all just goes to prove that you can't fool a woman.
Yeah, but you have a lot of fun trying.
Listen, Andy, nobody can fool a woman when it comes to soap. And that's why more women use Rinso than any other wash-day soap in the world.
Rinso with Solium gets white clothes whiter than new, washable colors brighter than new. Yes, Rinso new. Use Rinso for dishes, too, and see how quickly Rinso gets dishwashing done. Get the economical giant-size Rinso today.
Stay tuned for the Edgar Bergen Show Charlie McCarthy program, which follows immediately over most of these stations. And good night, folks.
See you next Sunday.
Attention all radio fans. Tomorrow night marks the 15th anniversary of the Lux Radio Theater. And to celebrate, there'll be a gala performance of that delightful comedy, Mother is a Freshman, starring Loretta Young and Van Johnson. Don't miss the Lux Radio Theater's 15th anniversary show tomorrow night over these same stations.
Lifebuoy Gets Skin Cleaner gives you longer all-over protection after your daily bath. Remember, there's not just 1 or 2, but 13 areas of the skin where doctors have found BO. Lifebuoy protects you all over, gives you top 24-hour security. Get Lifebuoy right away.
Be sure and listen to the Amos and Andy Show at the same time next Sunday. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.